So I just finished a lesson with Bridget, and what she was complaining about is that at the top of her backswing, she would have pain in her lead thumb, in her left thumb right here, and she felt like the weight of the club was just too much in that transition from the backswing to the downswing. So we provided extra support with the trail hand. And there's a very specific place that you need to put that index finger of the trail hand to get the support you need at the top of the backswing to take the stress off that lead thumb. And man, did we have an awesome session. Stay with us. I'm going to show you what that's all about. Let's examine first and foremost how that lead hand needs to be on the club. Imagine you're holding an umbrella. So I've got my umbrella, I'm not getting wet. You notice I'm taking it from up here. Too many of you are putting the club on the ground, setting it on the sole of the club, and then you feel the need to hold the club across the hand this way. This is not going to cut it, because now when I wrap my hand around that grip, there's a big gaping hole here, and you're going to get a lot of play in your hands. It's okay to have a little bit of a wear spot, but basically this glove is over a month old, and I've got it in my hands 12 hours a day. So if your glove is just barely holding on for one practice session and you're tearing a hole in it, this is why. So you cannot put the club through the hand this way. You'd be getting wet if this was an umbrella. So there's your umbrella. Now notice my thumb, when I secure it, is allowing me to get a really nice hinge on what we call the anatomical snuff box. And that's that little cavity above your thumb where you get that beautiful hinge. You would use that hinge for hammering nails, for throwing footballs, for casting fishing poles. See that? Right there. So I've got my umbrella, and I feel like I can hinge up and down without losing my grip. So now when I get to the top of the backswing and I want to change directions, well, we don't typically encourage our students to do one-arm swings with the club in its traditional position, because the weight of the club head becomes a little bit too much of a burden for one hand only, for that's the majority of golfers. If you're very strong, then no problem. So when you put the other hand on, notice how the thumb and the grip will fit right in the lifeline of that right hand. And now not only is the palm of the right hand supporting the left thumb, but the index of that hand as well. So notice how I've got it separated from the other fingers and it's hooked on here. And then the thumb can go right alongside here to prevent the club from falling in there. See that? So now I'm in a really good position of support, and it feels like the burden of support at the top of the backswing is shared between that index finger. So you notice if I let go here, you can see how my index finger is supporting that, and the club isn't falling in that gap right here. So I don't want that club falling in the gap like you saw in that thumbnail. So now I've got support. And then I can put it to the acid test. And this is where Andrew Huberman comes in extremely handy. So if I swing back and through without stopping, I am now in a closed loop setting, just like a swimmer making adjustments on the fly. So what we did is we put that to the test with Bridget, and then she could feel the support of that index finger and thumb in each direction, right here in the finish and right here in the backswing. So she would do 3 or 4 swings in a row, feel that support, and then once she felt confident, that the grip was going to support her swing, it made that predictable, and then she could stay on her task. So she would do 3 in a row, 1 support, support, 2 support, support, 3 support, support. All right. Then we go to the ball, and we already feel that support at address, and we're predicting that when we let it go, then we got that brilliant support at the top of the backswing. So you feel this beautiful hinge on both anatomical snuff boxes, and you don't feel that collapse. So for many of you, when you don't have support in the hand, you start collapsing, and you start trying to support the club with the full palm of that trail hand. And then when that happens, well, that is going to affect the club face in a major way. And then it starts affecting the way you're releasing through the ball as well. So if we look at that release, you'll notice that the release happens the same way in every sport in the book. If I'm going fishing, so notice if I go fishing far, there is the same release and that pronated release as a tennis serve. If I have a sword in my hands and I got a bamboo shoot that I'm going to slice through, notice how I'm self-preserving in the process. So if I have a bamboo shoot to cut through there, notice my hinge. Elbow leads hand, hand leads blade, blade cuts through and rehinges on the other side. Now I can cut through this way. So if I want to be a good guide in the jungle, slash, release hinge, slash, release hinge. So I need to put that thumb on top if I'm doing a one hand, especially because the shaft is so small at that point, that's how I'm going to do it. If the grip is a little bit bigger, then I can do it with this particular grip. So if you're going to hammer nails, if you're going to throw footballs, it's all the same thing. So that you'll notice a football quarterback, if I'm throwing towards you, after the throw, there's this beautiful pronated release. And that's where we get that velocity in our, in our shots. So you use perpetual motion. Feel that support, feel that support, feel the support. Then it becomes open loops, like throwing darts. So you've got a trajectory, I've got my intermediate point right here, and I am delivering my shot in that direction. So I'm already feeling how the index is going to be able to support that, and then release and rehinge into the finish. So here we go. See my rehinge and my finish? So now I've got that beautiful rehinge right here, and that felt like, wow, I really smoked that thing, and I got some beautiful velocity through the shot, and then I have that self-preserving putting on of the brakes on the other side here, and that's where that index finger is going to help preserve your wrist. So for those of you who have pain in your wrists, that happens also on the follow-through when you've got a little bit of a faulty grip. So when that grip falls here and then you don't have that support anymore, well, you're putting the brunt of that support on that thumb. And there's where you get some wrist injuries or things like that if you're a little too aggressive, right? So another good video for that, obviously you want to go to our premium channel at wisdomingolfpremium.com. You'll see grip and grip part 2. And grip part 2, I got two cameras right there to really show you throughout the whole action, nice close-ups and all that good stuff. And then you're going to see important grip update, so you know how to close the club face properly, because that's just one of the aspects of the swing right there. You want to feel that grip club relationship. When you let it go in the direction of the target, you want to feel that ball is going to start and stay in that direction. If the club face is too open, yeah, you could have a really good grip makeup, but then the hands are going to come through first, and that club, you know, the ball's just going to slide off the club face and, you know, go off the planet to the right. Or if it's too closed, then it's going to have a tendency to hook to the left. So you really want to know how to fine tune the opening and closing of that club face. So you'll see that through fade fine tuning and draw fine tuning on our premium channel. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that little excerpt. And I know we had an amazing session with Bridget. She's, you know, off relaxing right now and just taking it all in and letting her brain filter out all the swings that were unsupported and keeping all the swings that were supported. And thanks to Andrew Huberman, we have a really nice blueprint on how that works. Go check out Andrew Huberman on accelerated motor skill learning, and you'll see what I'm talking about. See you next time.